Hey YouTube, 333 Sweethearts Tarot. I'm back. Sorry it took me some time to come back, but life and work just been lifing and working. So there's that. But as you read the title, some of you guys have, which thank you guys so much for the raving reviews you gave to my reading. I'm glad you guys resonated with it. You guys found it informative and entertaining. Thank you guys so much for watching. And for the new people here, welcome, welcome, welcome my sweethearts. Thank you for watching. But thank you all for just big upping that reading and, just keep giving me feedback on what you guys want me to read on, because just gives me more content for the channel, and I love doing readings. And I'm really good at them, as you guys now are learning. So thank you guys so much. Just your support means everything, and the support continues to grow, and I feel so blessed to have you guys. Thank you. But yes, so today, as you guys read the title, we are doing a Shedeur part 2. And so one of the lovely viewers, and you know who you are, sis. Thank you so much. Shout out to you, babe. She gave me a few questions to ask. Let me position this so you guys can see me. And can y'all see? Yeah, y'all can see. Okay. Let me get all the questions. We're going to do a part 2 for Shedeur. And seeing how his NFL career will go. So we got, how will Shedeur's NFL career go? Will he meet as far as so will Shedeur meet expectations? So we'll read on his NFL career and meeting any expectations or exceeding, or is he does he break ceilings, or is he a bust, basically? And what's the other one? Here's the one I really want to know about. Is Tom Brady going to be exposed for blackballing him? Or are the other rookies jealous of him? I want to know those. Those are the main ones I want to know. I feel hot just even asking about Tom Brady. I wonder if he's got some spiritual protection around him. Doesn't stop me. I'm spiritually protected too, because, But I want to know about the Tom Brady one. So we'll do, oh, and how does Deion feel about his son? Sorry, I'm still reading the questions. I got the questions from you guys in the comments. So yeah. So we're definitely going to read on those. How does Deion feel about what happened? With the draft pick. We're going to read on Tom Brady next. Are other rookies jealous of him? Already, when I asked that question, I don't think the rookies are jealous of him. When I asked that question, I got no, not necessarily. So no, the rookies aren't jealous of him, but some of them, and not even just the rookies, but a few of his teammates didn't really like. They were kind of skeptical on how the public exposure with Shedeur Sanders and the team and how that will happen, but I don't think his team thinks badly of him. I think they're relatively cool. Either they don't know Shedeur well enough, so it's like neutral and likable. So Shedeur's getting off to a really great start with this team, despite anyone guessing otherwise. So we got that covered. The rookies are not jealous of him. And I think as time goes on and as the season goes on, everyone's going to get to know each other more. You're going to have to. But I don't get any bad energy, but we can read on that too. But I'm already getting like no from Spirit. All right. So how does... Yeah, let's start with that question. How does Deion feel about about what happened with... Oh, and speak of the devil, Tom Brady comes on my TV. Oh, Tom Brady. All right, we're going to start with Deion Sanders as far as like, how does Deion feel about what happened with his son? Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for all knowledge and wisdom you bestow upon me. Thank you for all safety and protection you enshrine it and shield upon me, so that I can see this reading very vividly and very clearly, all while being detached, untouched, and unbothered. Thank you for all hidden truths now revealed, with full transparency and with full honesty. Okay. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit, how does Deion feel about what happened with his son, Shedeur's draft pick? He does feel like he was sabotaged. The Eight of Swords kept coming up. He does feel like he was sabotaged. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still trying to get these angles right, child. Okay. Child, y'all gonna let me know if y'all can't see nothing anyway. Alright, well, we 7 minutes in. Anywho, let's get to this reading. Spirit, how does Deion Sanders feel about what happened to his son? Sabotage. He feels like they tried to humiliate him or mock him. Because it wasn't really about Shedeur or embarrass him in front of the world. It wasn't even so much as about Shedeur as much as it was about Deion. And maybe the cocky nature he has exuded in the past. Alright, Spirit. How does Deion feel? Wait. How does Deion feel? How does Deion feel about his son's draft slide? Well, damn. He feels... Okay, so... First cards that came out was the Empress, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Cups. He feels like there are some lower level people or lower level energies trying to embarrass him or trying to sabotage him, but going through his son to do so. Some very non-confrontational, messy people trying to get the better of him and going through his son to do so because they don't have the bravery to face Deion themselves. Well, I don't think he's wrong on that. But he believes it will backfire on them. The Knight of Swords, their actions, as harmful as they were, he feels like it will backfire on them. He believes it will backfire. And I think his belief is right. It will backfire. As you've watched the first reading, it will backfire. I think Deion has told his son, keep your head, like, after the celebration, like, after the celebrating of getting drafted and all that. Deion has instructed and told his son, which I'm not saying Shedeur wouldn't anyway, but Deion has instructed his son to keep your head down and work. The Four of Pentacles. Keep your head down and work. And with that number 9 of Pentacles, let that success do the talking. Let that success do the talking. And let these people with the 7 of Swords, that sabotage card comes up again. Let the success do the talking with the 9 of Pentacles. With the 7 of Swords, let these people eat their words. Let these people, figuratively speaking, fall on their swords. There are some people that are kind of like sleeper cells that have told Deion a lot more information, like damning information about people's behind the scenes actions towards his son. There's some like media personalities or media analysts that have went and told Deion some of the things that people were doing or saying about him or in his son behind the scenes that could have tampered with the draft results. There's some people, like I'm seeing like media analysts, like NFL media analysts, journalists, draft analysts feeding this Queen of Swords is like someone that has, yes, it can represent air signs, but it's not, tarot's not always that cut and dry. Sometimes the swords, like the major arcana cards like this, when it's king or queen of a major arcana, it can represent a job. Like King of Pentacles can represent someone wealthy or someone that works in finance. Queen of Swords or King of Swords can represent someone that is an orator of some sorts. Being in media, you have to talk a lot. So this is giving like spokesperson energy. There's some people in the media that are in the know of what's going on and have communicated some behind the scenes knowledge to Deion about some of the things that were happening that led to the draft slide that Shedeur had. So he has gotten some of the lowdown of what's been going on. And he is thankful for that. Like, hey, thanks for reaching out. Thanks for telling me. I wish he knew this stuff before, but he knows now, and it's better late than never. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Tom Brady's a Leo, right? So that's who this King of Wands is. The King of Wands, and it's the King of Wands showed up right next to the star card. So this is someone in the public that is a star within themselves, that is recognizable. Tom Brady, I'm not saying that these people were, well, clearly they are friendly enough. I thought they weren't even that close as friends. They were just like associates that knew each other kind of well, but I didn't, apparently there was some sort of a friendship here that Deion had with Tom Brady. But here's how I'm hearing it from Spirit. Here's how I'm hearing it from Spirit. After the draft slide, Deion reached out to Tom Brady. He reached out to him. And he was asking like, yo, what happened? What are people saying? What are people doing? All this other stuff. I feel like Tom Brady must have been really fake to Deion, because he must have been saying it in a way of like, oh, I don't know why this happened, or I don't know how that happened, or I don't know, a whole bunch of I don't knows and I don't knows and I don't knows and I don't knows. But really, it's not that Tom Brady didn't know why Shedeur's draft picks slid so low. It's the fact that Tom Brady was being fake to Deion. He didn't say, the thing that's coming out is that Tom Brady knew more than what he said to Deion. He kind of and he do this prior to the draft. So it's like he let Deion and Shedeur go in blind. He knew more than what he's saying. He still knows more than what he's saying. That's why, in a way, it's karmic justice that journalists and media analysts and other maybe lower level NFL professionals that aren't GMs or executives, other people that are in the league, are reaching out to Deion, like through, you know, the highways, byways, on the low. That's why it's karmic justice that Deion is learning more of this information through, like, people that are maybe more unlikely, that are kind of more unlikely, that he would, basically, he's learning more through people that don't even know him that well than someone like Tom Brady, who he called a friend. Tom purposely was fake. He didn't say a lot of things. He kept a lot hidden with the moon card. And in this Ace of Cups, Tom knew more than what he was saying. He knew what intimate information people were saying. He knew more information than what he was saying. He knew more than what he was saying. Oh, I just seen Josh Allen on the TV. I'm sorry, I got distracted a little bit. But, like, it's like he knew more than what he was saying. And now that Deion knows more of the full picture, he feels like Tom stabbed him in the back, because it's like, you knew all of this. You knew all of these things. No matter how bad it sounded, you knew all of these things. Or at least some of it you knew, but you kept it hidden from me regardless, even though I asked you as a man to just tell me what was going on. That's what it's giving. But he feels like Tom will get his. It's what goes around. Deion is like, yo, what goes around comes around. Tom is going to get his. Uh-oh. Ooh, I just heard Deion say Tom slips up. And he's gonna slip up bad. Child. So their friendship may be a bit on the rocks. Yeah, this is jeopardizing their friendship. I think Deion is contemplating leaving the friendship. He's trying to reconsider and not necessarily give benefit of the doubt, but trying to, like, maybe just cool off each other or see how he's going to approach this in the long run. Because, one, they both are NFL legend juggernauts, and you also don't want to complicate the industry, because eventually they're going to have to see each other again. They're both titans in the industry. They both dominated the NFL while they were there. So, you know, yeah, there's that to consider, like the money aspect, the career aspect. They're both really powerful. They both are very rich. Both won a lot of Super Bowls, all that stuff. They've all done, they've done the dash. They are legends or authority figures, which legends, with the Emperor card that can represent authority in an industry or an authority figure. And they both are authority. So it's not like Tom can necessarily one up Deion. Deion's an actual Hall of Famer. Tom is a potential Hall of Famer, but it's like they both got money. They both have some. They both have a lot of the same things, despite not playing the same position when they were, in football. So there is that. Tom may end up apologizing later on. We may not see it, but I'm just saying, like, within their friendship, Tom may end up apologizing later on. Um, but they'll have to. Tom will end up apologizing later on, but I feel like there's gonna have to be some boundaries established. Like, one, don't be codependent on Tom Brady, Deion Sanders. Tom Brady's great, but there's other people, there's other quarterbacks of the past to talk to. Joe Flacco is kind of one of his own goats. I know people don't look at Joe Flacco, but your son is working with Joe Flacco. He can learn a lot just there. But also, outside of, you don't need another, like, Shedeur doesn't need another dad. He has a dad. So it's just a matter of learn what you can from everyone, young or old. You don't have to have Tom Brady there. Tom Brady is great, but Tom Brady's game worked for Tom Brady. It's not going to work for everyone. And Shedeur has far more athleticism than, he's not the most athletic, but he has more athleticism than Tom Brady. So it's like he has a more varied skill set. He doesn't have to lean on Tom to gain wisdom. I keep getting there's going to be a woman that blows, or there's a journalist, a female, but I'm getting like a female journalist, like a female beat writer. Kind of like how it was a woman, it was a female, like dying, I can't remember her name, and I'm not being mean, pardon me. But like it's a woman who, it was a woman who basically outed the Green Bay Packers for trying to ban the Philadelphia Eagles tush push. It's kind of like that. There's going to be there's going to be a female sports journalist, a sports writer, or, female NFL writer that's going to out some damning information. Who's going to out damning information about what was said about Shedeur while he was going through the draft process. What some of the teams said about him. That's coming up for a second time. And it's going to be poetic justice when that comes up, because it's like the things that were said about Shedeur pre-draft time or around the draft time, it's like it's going to come back to bite them. If not this season, next season, because I'm hearing that the Cleveland Browns could be playoff contenders for this season or next season. That it may come from a team that the Cleveland Browns have to face in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. If that shit comes true, now y'all know what. Now y'all know what. Okay. So that's already a really good sign for really great success. Some of the teams that were talking shit about Shedeur behind the scenes are gonna have to see that team in the playoffs, and they may not fare as well. The victory may very well be on the Cleveland Browns side. Because even if the Cleveland Browns were kind of smug or maybe neutral on taking him, they're gonna nurture Shedeur and get their money's worth. And Shedeur is gonna, be up to the task for working for it as well. But it's gonna be paying the piper. These teams, they're gonna wish that they took back those things that they said about Shedeur, because the team overall is going to win, but Shedeur is going to put on a not too bad performance himself. He's going to be not too shabby out there. I think I'm hearing that Shedeur himself is going to be developing 2 new skill sets, or sharpening these 2 skill sets that are going to make his quarterback game lethal, like almost lethal on the field. So that's really great to hear. And he's got good coaches. The coaches do trust him. And he's just kind of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Like, he's just taking in everything, taking this all one by one. And I feel like he's isolating himself from the media, which is good. By all means, isolate from the media. As far as, like, what he's consuming. Like, he's just locked in. Okay. There are people fishing around the Browns organization to see if there's any bad Shedeur stories, but I feel like these people are going to have to keep fishing because I don't think that they'll be fed. I feel like there'll be an imbalance. Like, the stories that they will get on Shedeur are rather positive, or they don't find anything at all. Good for him. Because they really went after him, and that was like, I'm not even a big Colorado fan. I don't even care about the Big 10 or Big 12 or whatever the fucking conference they are. I don't even care. But it's just like, why did y'all have to sick all of that on him, like, at once? Like, it was so unnecessary. So, whether I'm a fan or not, I can call right is right and wrong is wrong. And how people handled him during the draft process was really fucked up. And I said what I said. So, but that kind of answered a lot of questions. I think that answered all of the questions, or at least most of them. That was pretty quick. I don't think we can read on how his NFL career go. But they brought up Tom Brady. I mean, Spirit brought up Tom Brady before I even asked about Tom Brady. So I mainly asked what did Deion feel? But that did tie into how Deion felt, because Deion feels like you kept things from me. You kept information from me. You knew that he wasn't going to go in the first 2 rounds, and you knew that information and you kept it from me, or you knew something and you kept it from me. Friends like Tom Brady, who needs an enemy? Because I don't know. I don't know if y'all want me to spill my personal opinion on how I always view Tom Brady, but that's just me. I don't know. Yeah. Duplicitous. That's all I could say. Duplicitous is Tom Brady. Like, I feel like if they went to Eli Manning or went to Peyton Manning, like, for example, Jalen Hurts went to go talk to Peyton Manning before he went to the Super Bowl the first time around. Like, stuff like, and look where Jalen Hurts is now. He's the reigning Super Bowl MVP. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think this is a lesson for Deion in a way of be careful who you call friend, one, and watch people's characters before you do call them friend. But that's a lesson for everybody, though. Just saying. Be careful who you call friend. And 2, what was the second thing? I just had it. Okay, let me shut up because everything's coming at me. I'm still getting messages from Spirit. I'm like, wait. Be careful who you call friend, but also all that glitters ain't gold. That's kind of what I meant to say. It was another good point that I had, but whatever the fuck. But I always thought Tom Brady was duplicitous. I'll give y'all my opinion anyway. Fuck it. I always thought Tom Brady was duplicitous, but that's just me. It's just too many instances where he does not, like, where you just ask him a straight question, he just doesn't answer it. And he's doing that on purpose to seem like he's, like, you know, in the middle, and he's, I'm just so neutral. No, not really. Versus with Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning is far more straightforward, and he'll just tell you what it is, like, just straight up, whether you like it, don't like it. He's not rude about it, but he'll just tell you what it is straight up to your face, and he seems more consistent in keeping the same energy. So I don't know. Just saying. But yeah, all that glitters ain't gold, and be careful who you call friend, Deion. I think they like the glamour of a Tom Brady, but they don't need the glamour of a Tom Brady. He had a long career, and that's great, but you don't need the glamour of a Tom Brady. You don't need anyone else's light to shine. Just shine. Period. And I think that's a lesson for all of us. Okay. I feel like I kind of got all the questions covered. As far as, is Tom Brady going to be exposed? Oh, is Tom Brady going to be exposed? Well, people are kind of already exposing him, technically. They're kind of calling him to the carpet. So that is in a way, a passive way of exposure. And we already know what Deion feels like. And that went into Tom Brady and revealing, rookies aren't jealous of him. Some of them, or team members, are not jealous of him. They either don't know him, or the people that have gotten to know him, they don't have anything bad to say about him. We can do, how will his NFL career go? How will Shedeur Sanders' NFL career go? Will he meet expectations? I don't even know if he has that many expectations. He was drafted in the 5th round, and people don't think he belongs there. But how will Shedeur Sanders' NFL career go, despite all of this? First thing I heard from Spirit was really good. His career will be stellar in its own way, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. That's amazing. I love that. Good for him. He's worked for that, so it should be everything that he wants it to be. It's his line of work. This is his contribution to the world. How will his career go? Shedeur is seeking spiritual counsel. I don't know if he has like a pastor or a counselor but it's like spiritual, and it's spiritual counsel. It could be a therapist, a mindset coach. Maybe he's hired a mindset coach, a sports psychologist. It could even be I don't know the spiritual practices of the Shedeur family. They seem like Christians, but, a spiritual counsel. They're seeking, or Shedeur himself is seeking spiritual counsel as far as how to handle everything that he's coming into. Because, granted, his father was in it, but he's never done this before. So he's coming into this pretty new and pretty green. And, he doesn't want the moment to be too big for him. And I think that's something he's done inventory on himself. And wants to make sure he nips in the bud of any mental blocks that could be there, which I totally recommend. If you can get a mindset coach, a really good mindset coach, or a sports psychologist or anything like that, by all means get one. Okay? I know this says magician, but I keep bringing up mindset coach. I don't know if he's into magic. I don't know. Doesn't matter, but definitely I'm getting that he's doing inventory on like what parts of his mindset he can improve on. So that's great. So that it's not hindering with his game or hindering how he delivers and shows up for the team. Yeah, because he wants to show up, and he was kind of the man. He was kind of the guy in college, but he knows that the college world is over. This is a whole new world that he's stepping into. And as he's already seen, it's a brutal world. People are way more harsh with their critiques in the pros. And he's facing that pretty early on. As a younger male, I think as a young kid coming into this, but he's not going to let it break him, despite how jeopardizing and how almost humiliating it is to go through. He's not going to let this break him. Yeah, he will not let this break him, and his father will not let him. He does have I know Deion keeps coming back up. He does have a strong support system with his family. But he's not going to let this break him. He doesn't want it to break him. He wants to rise to the occasion. Also, Shiloh, his brother, is also going through the same NFL experience as far as being in the league. And so they're corresponding, and Shiloh brings a lot of encouraging messages to him. So I love that. A little part of the back of his mind is a bit petty, which I totally love. I totally live for. A little part of his mind is petty. A little part of it. It's not. This is not the overall energy. But it's kind of like, as in the Hierophant card, y'all haven't watched me, but like the Hierophant, for those that haven't, but for the Hierophant card kind of represents God, divine source, you know, and it showed up right on top of the Judgment card. So these two cards are like right on top of right on top of each other, and I'm kind of hearing it as God's judgment. I will make those people pay for how they talked about me, schemed behind my back. I will make those people pay. And I will make those people pay through my work. Eight of Pentacles, the ultimate work card. I will make those people pay. That's a small part of his mind. And, you know, by all means, he's got all the right cards to say, let them eat cake, and they freaking will. Yeah, these people will be freaking begging on their knees, literally. Pause. Yeah, he's gonna make a lot of people freaking eat their words for how they talked about him and desecrated him. It's gonna be so sweet. And it will be his victory to do so through his hard work. Yes. So will Shedeur Sanders have a successful career? Yes. Now, I'm not talking about championships. He may get there. He may not. It doesn't matter. But he will have a successful, prosperous career as far as like putting up numbers and having highlight reels. You know, he will have that for sure. And being, you know, rewarded for what he does and being well respected. You know, he's going to have all of that. He may be a bit guarded in his first couple years in the NFL as far as being kind of reluctant to be his full personality, because he just doesn't want people to think of him as like a pompous rich boy that, you know, was spoiled and got everything. Because that wasn't exactly what it was like. He comes from a lot of means, but it wasn't about being spoiled and having everything handed to you, despite what people have said. And so he may be a little reluctant to open up with his team, which I feel like will come with time. He will, but it's like he doesn't want to be, you know, full on his own person. Not that he has a bad personality. I don't think he's like a, you know, braggadocious egomaniac idiot, but it's just like, you know, like, and it also is a part of growing up. Like people's maturity grows, and so like your personality can kind of grow with that. So I don't think that's a bad thing, but he may be a little reluctant to be vulnerable with his teammates, at least for the meantime. Yeah, but I think he'll be fine, guys. I really think he's gonna be fine. So yeah, I think we got everything. I think I got everything answered. Answered all the questions. But yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for this reading, for watching it, for enjoying it, liking it, hitting the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments any other readings you want me to do about anything. It doesn't even have to be about this. Like, just ask me any questions and topics you want me to read on. Just remember, if you're going to suggest something, just put the questions with the topic, and then I can get back to y'all and see what's going on with doing more readings. And I love it. I love the video suggestions. Keep them coming. So, anywho. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe, comment, share if you care. Ain't that what the YouTubers say? I guess. Whatever the case. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching, and till next time, bye bye.